Good evening. I would like to call to order the Kaiser City Council in regular session. It is Tuesday, June 21st, 2022, and ask our city recorder to please call roll.
Councilor Herrera.
Here.
Councilor Reed.
She is excused this evening.
Councilor Kohler.
Here.
Mayor Clark.
Here.
Council President Smith. Here. Councilor Starr.
Here.
And Councilor Duran.
Here.
Thank you very much. Would you all please rise if you're able and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much. This evening, we have a couple of special orders of business, and for the first one, I'm going to call up Ramiro Navarro to introduce this particular agenda item, if you would, please.
Mayor Clark, councilors, city staff, my name is Ramiro Navarro. I'm a Kaiser resident, and we have an award that we would like to present today, and in a few words, if LaTanya would like to step up.
If you go ahead and pull the microphone to you, please. Thank you.
Mayor, councilors, city staff, first off, we'd like to thank you for this opportunity to express our gratitude for the small steps that Kaiser is taking to make our community more inclusive and welcoming. Kaiserites come in many different forms, and it's that we continue to progress. So many different Kaiserites can feel welcomed in the community where they live. At the heart of that progress is passion. And the passion that has shined brightest these last few years is that of Councilor Roland Herrera. Councilor Herrera, unwavering support for the LGBTQ community and others who often feel unheard, is the beacon of hope that puts the pride before spirit and volunteerism in Kaiser's motto. His passion will be missed on the council, but we did not want to miss the opportunity to say thank you. Councilor Herrera, we see you, we hear you, and we are proud to call you City Councilor. Please accept this award for your dedication and commitment to inclusivity in Kaiser. It is a small token of appreciation for the tremendous amount of support you have given us.
Awesome. We got an award here for you, Councilor Herrera, if you'd like to come up and... Surprise.
Councilor Herrera.
I do appreciate all this, but there's a lot of folks out there. I actually it's worth it to me because of my plight through this whole object with my brother and what's happening. But I've been called a race baiter for bringing up equity and inclusion. I was accused of dividing the city, and that's people that really know me. They know I love Kaiser, and I appreciate what you're doing here. But it's just being a Kaiser person, and that's what we do. And I have been a little passionate about it because of the fact that my family had a gay member that died of AIDS, and I have a lot of work with a brilliant young brother, but that's why I have the passion for that. But there's a lot of folks that do that, a lot of us. I just happen to be in a platform that people can hear me and get mad at me. So,
Councilor Herrera, please join them. Thank you. There's the paparazzi.
I want to know whose idea it was.
You're standing by now.
I do appreciate it, guys. And you know what?
We're not done yet.
All the,
I'll always see you guys.
but wait, there's more.
More.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I'm next. Okay. Rolando, esta tarjeta
Muchísimas gracias, lo agradezco.
Y
Lo agradezco.
las rosas son para ti también,
Dámelo para mi celular, la esposa.
porque un hombre necesita rosas.
Muchas gracias.
Como las mujeres. And
That's enough.
And I just want to thank you, Roland, for your service, your dedication, your courage, your perseverance, your humility, your continued support of the community for years and years and years. And we just want to show you our appreciation. We love you.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sorry, we're behind the calls. I'll call you. I had 130 messages just. Sorry, guys.
Congratulations, Councilor Herrera, and thank you for your service to the community. This was definitely a effort of the heart, and when they contacted us about doing this without letting you know, it was absolutely yes. So thank you, and thank you all for your continued work and service to our wonderful community. We really appreciate you. At this time, is there anybody else who wanted to speak? At this time, we're going to go to our second order, special order of business, and that is to swear in 3 new officers. Chief Teague.
Well, sometimes in some places, this might seem like a yin to that yang, but at Kaiser, we look for people who are conscientious, courageous, helpful, empathetic, and humble. And we have hired 2 guys who check those boxes. I think you'll find them to be outstanding police officers and a good representation of fairness and justice in policing. We have Riley Hall. He's standing right in front of Riley Hall is Robert Cheek. To Robert's left is his wife Megan, seated in white. Robert and Megan were taking as Robert puts it, a honeymoonish swing through Oregon about a year ago, looking for a place to land. They're from Alaska, and looking all over Oregon, decided Kaiser's where they wanted to be. And here we are a year later. We just brought him on board last week. We're delighted to have Robert, 4-year veteran from Wasilla, Alaska PD. He's also a captain in the Army Guard, right? Yep. Very well qualified, super guy. There's Riley Hall. He rather grew up with us. I was a cadet for 5 years and just got sworn in as a reserve police officer, and we'll probably see him be a full-timer someday. We're delighted to show these 2 to you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Johnson.
Gentlemen, you want to go ahead and come up?
Get this.
Yes, please.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Robert Cheek,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon
and the laws thereof
and the laws thereof
and the laws and ordinances
and the laws and ordinances
of the City of Kaiser,
of the City of Kaiser,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge my duties
discharge my duties
in and for the City of Kaiser,
in and for the City of Kaiser,
County of Marion,
County of Marion,
State of Oregon,
State of Oregon,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Welcome. Welcome, young man. What was the first name, sir?
Riley, great to meet you.
I'm deaf, sorry.
Thank you, and congratulations. Welcome. Congratulations.
Welcome aboard.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
my family's never been together. Ever.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
They're all here, everyone.
Can we-
Oh, my daughter too.
Can we bring them all up to introduce them?
No,
I don't
let's
think.
don't stand up with her.
All
I don't
right.
want to overdo it.
All right. We've got a professional right here. All right. Photo.
Can you do it? Can you call them?
I don't know all their names.
We'll just say the Herrera family.
Okay.
It's close enough.
I can do that. Well, and we all know that volunteerism and service to our community is a family endeavor. So I was so glad to see Officer Cheek's wife here. And we know that they all have support from family and friends. In addition, Councilor Rivera's family is here as well.
Hey guys, where are you going?
Hey.
Those good-looking young men out there are my sons, and this is the first time all our family's been in the same room in probably 10 years, Thanksgiving.
Wow.
But anyway, my wife was there too, but she
Yeah.
goes, "Hi, Bertie," my daughter. That really surprised me. Okay. Thank you for allowing me to introduce my family.
I'm sorry? Yeah, Councilor Rivera, would you like to join them for a picture? We will we will do public testimony at this time.
I'm sorry to do all this distraction. I'm sorry.
Councilor Rivera, it's understandable. It's all good, yep. When you can get all of the family in one picture, you grab that opportunity. I don't know about all y'all, but for sure, especially as your family gets bigger. In the meantime, we will return to some of our other mundane, however, very exciting things coming up for the city with our committee reports. And let's start off with new volunteers. Woohoo! We've got new police officers, we've got community involvement, and now let's talk about our coordinating committee recommendations for appointment. And who gets this one? City manager? Oh yeah, we'll have to shut the doors, just keep the noise down a little bit so we can hear.
Is this your committee? Still learning the order of operations here, so.
It's okay.
All right.
The Volunteer Coordinating Committee met on June 9th and is recommending some appointments to some of the committees. They are recommending that Lori Christopher be appointed to position 6 on the Kaiser Public Arts Commission, with her term beginning on July 1st, 2022 and expiring on June 30th, 2025. I'm probably going to butcher it. Angelica Sarmiento Avando is as our Kaiser Youth Counselor for the school year for the coming year. Manpreet Sandhu as the Youth Liaison to the Kaiser Planning Commission for the 2022-2023 school year, and Catherine Klein as the Youth Liaison to the Kaiser Public Arts Commission for the 2022-23 school year. So the recommendation is for you to accept those recommendations from the committee.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any questions on the staff report or the recommendation from the Volunteer Coordinating Committee? Council President Smith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that the Kaiser City Council accept the recommendation of the Volunteer Coordinating Committee and appoint Lori Christopher to position 6 on the Kaiser Public Arts Commission, term beginning on July 1st, 2022 and expiring June 30th, 2025. Angelica Sarmiento Avando as Kaiser City Council Youth Counselor for the 2022-2023 school year, Manpreet Sandhu as the Youth Liaison to the Kaiser Planning Commission for the 2022-2023 school year, and Catherine Klein as the Youth Liaison to the Kaiser Public Arts Commission for the 2022-2023 school year.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the recommendation of the Volunteer Coordinating Committee and make the appointments as listed. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed signify by saying no. Hearing no objection, motion passes unanimously with one absent and one momentarily excused. That would be Councilors Reed and Herrera. All right, thank you very much. Other committee reports. Okay. These are, okay, separate. That goes here. I do have 2 from neighborhood associations, so I'd like to invite them up now. Under committee reports, I have from Northeast Kaiser Neighborhood Association, Jackie.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline, and I live in Kaiser, and I was just wondering, we are taking the summer off for marketing and talking to folks about what they need from us and what they may want to see in our community. We'll be 4th Wednesday of each month starting in September 22nd.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Any questions on the Northeast Kaiser Neighborhood Association?
They're going to meet here.
Are you going to be meeting here or are you going to be meeting at another location in September?
We're going to be trying to hear.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And then Tammy Coons talked about the Kennedy Neighborhood Family Council.
Tammy Kunz. I live in Kaiser, and now I'm going to switch glasses. So, Kennedy Neighborhood Family Council is a new group in the community centered around Kennedy Elementary. And some of the things that we're going to be looking to do is create positive social connections, create support in times of need, knowledge and development skills. And when Jackie and I went out and talked to folks in the neighborhood, we realized that we're skipping some generations. Grandparents are raising kids and have no idea how to help their kids because most of them can't read and write themselves.
Okay.
So we're going to be trying to work on that and get that taken care of in some way. Putting you to work. It just saddens me because the kids can't get the support at home that they really need from the parent. We're going to partner with the Kaiser Library, and I don't know how or what to go about maybe partnering with high school students who can maybe help work with some of these kids. So I'm going to be talking to you guys for guidance for that because I have no idea.
I have some resources for you. Claudia Rodriguez from the Early Learning Hub. I will connect you with her. They are doing parenting skills, supports for families both in English and Spanish, and those are ongoing right now. So
okay.
I will connect you. She was a guest on my Coffee with Kathy program a couple of months ago and was sharing some of the new programming that they're putting out as free of charge and bilingual, and they're helping to do training and other supports for families with young children. So she would be a phenomenal resource for you.
Okay, and my other question is, what do we have in our community for kids with autism?
Precious little.
Through Jackie and I just talking to 150 something, we ran into 5 different families that have kids with autism, and there's nothing available.
The Early Learning Hub also has some programs available, so they're going to be able to connect you up with some of the programs that are coming online now. Councilor Starr.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Another suggestion would be to check in with Midwillamette Valley Community Action Agency. They have a Head Start program, so connecting with them would be really helpful. And then obviously if you are coming into contact with families that have children in the foster care system, contact me and I can help you connect with some resources and get you going in the right direction. But the Head Start through Community Action and the Early Learning Hub are probably 2 of the best places to start. And also you can check in with Family Building Blocks. That's another option as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So those are some places we can help you get started. See, you don't know if you don't ask.
Exactly.
Fantastic. That's how we get done. Councilor Herrera.
First of all, thank you, Councilor Starr, because like we're just starting, and I'm saying we're because I'm actually part of this, and I thank you for showing up and doing this. I was absent for the last meeting. I was out of town, but we're starting. This is brand new, and we're just right now getting ideas together, and those are the ideas, some of the ideas that came up. And we want to do some good in that area because believe me, there's a lot of need everywhere. But here in Kaiser, it's right there where I hang, where I hang out. So, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And then the Get a Hold of Boys and Girls Club. They have a new. I think I sent you that email with the Shannon Phillips is the new club manager for the Kennedy Club.
Okay.
And definitely connect up with her.
Perfect.
Fabulous. All right, thank you very much. This takes us to public comments. This time is provided for citizens to address the council on any matters other than those on the agenda scheduled for public hearing. We have one public hearing scheduled for this evening, a resolution authorizing sole source procurement contracts with Right-of-Way Consultants LLC for purpose of assisting with drafting of a right-of-way ordinance and managing the usage of the right-of-way. So if you're here to talk about that, stay tuned. I do want to acknowledge one written comment that we received, and that was from Leslie Burke on the pride flag. And I was able to refer her to the conversation we had about referring this for further development to the Community Engagement, Diversity Engagement Committee. So we did receive that comment from her. She's a resident of Keizer. I do have, well, this is right of way, so those are public hearing. Okay. I don't have anybody signed up for public hearing. No, I'm sorry, for public testimony this evening. Is there anyone who would like to address the council on other topics this evening? Going once, twice. Okay, let's get to this public hearing then. I'd like to open the public hearing on the resolution authorizing sole source procurement contracts with Right-of-Way Consultants LLC for the purpose of assisting with drafting a right-of-way ordinance and managing the usage of the right-of-way. And this goes to Mr. Johnson.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. And before I forget, as I indicated for the audience, I'm going to need to leave early today, so please excuse my rudeness as I just dash out without warning. And I apologize for that. I have a family event I need to get going for. So as you can see from the staff report, and most of the council was around for this, in December we had a work session on this topic. We had special telecom counsel Spencer Parsons here, and I attached my short memo and his longer one in more detail about the issue of right-of-way management and mainly having a level playing field for the different types of providers. The recommendation was to move forward with right-of-way ordinance rather than a franchise model, and council gave preliminary direction at December meeting to do so. So it took us a while to work through some different issues, but we've come up with some two separate contracts. One, a contract with ROW, Right-of-Way Consultants LLC, to prepare the actual code, which will involve getting the players involved. So we'll have plenty of input from the industries that would be regulated by that, and getting that moving. And then following that, the management of it, because we simply don't have the staff to be able to manage that program. And so, as you can see from the staff report, we described how those work in the current situation is we're not really collecting fees from some of the users of the right-of-way. And as outside counsel pointed out, that is not really a level playing field. So the idea is to move forward with this project. Tonight's hearing, though, is limited really to the competitive solicitation issue, which is the sole source exemption. Tigard, Milwaukee, and I believe Woodburn used this consultant, and I think all of them were unable to find anyone and did a sole source exemption because it's just not a common kind of field. And it is somewhat specific to Oregon too, because it's both federal and state laws that are involved. So the alternatives you can see, I set forth there on the second page. You can take no action. However, unless we did something different later on, we would still have the unfair, unlevel playing field. Or you could direct us to try to handle it in-house, but I don't think that we could handle that without hiring additional staff. So the recommendation is to move forward with these contracts after holding a public hearing. If there's no questions, then adopt the attached ordinance. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. And it is a resolution that I've got. It's not an ordinance, correct?
Correct, I'm sorry. The resolution is just authorizing the city manager to enter into these contracts.
Gotcha.
Then the final result will be a right-of-way ordinance.
Okay.
It will be like a code, right-of-way code.
Gotcha. All right. Any questions on the staff report? Council President Smith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It reminds me of RFP when I first started. Could you just bring it down to a very common what right-of-way means so
Okay.
people watching can understand?
Sure.
Because it's not common language, so
Yeah,
thank you.
that's a very good point, Council President Smith. So the right-of-way, you can see most of the right-of-way. Some of it is maybe a little different location, but if you think of all the streets That is the typical right-of-way. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is in some places, like along River Road, the right-of-way and the edge of the curb, more or less, are the same. Many other places, the right-of-way is several feet back from the curb. People are sometimes surprised to learn that when somebody comes through with a project, it can be partly in your front yard even. But the right-of-way just refers to that dedicated areas. Typically, they're dedicated in the subdivision process. So when the subdivision is approved, part of the subdivision plat says we hereby dedicate to the public, the owner, the developers, all the right-of-ways listed on the plat. So just the recording of the plat. Sometimes they're created by a separate document, similar to an easement. But with that is vested in the public, with the city being basically the manager of that public right-of-way. Well, to use that right-of-way degrades the road, and it's a use that benefits the utilities, the different utilities to do that. They, one way or the other, whether a public utility or not, get a benefit from that use. And so it's well settled in law that municipalities, or counties in some cases, can collect fees for using that. And different terms have been used, where it's a right-of-way fee, a franchise fee, and sometimes it's called a privilege tax, but that's for the use of the right-of-way. Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you for that. Just people sometimes have no
Sure.
idea
A
what
lot of
some of
people
these
wouldn't
things.
know that, and I appreciate you asking the question. Something that's so automatic to me would not be automatic to everyone, of course.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Any other questions on the staff report of the proposal? At this time, I have two people signed up to testify in this public hearing, and that is Tammy Coons.
Okay. Tammy Kunz from Kaiser. Couple of questions. How is this going to affect the families who are already struggling financially? Because the way it looks, it'll be an extra tax added on to whatever company that is being used.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes, that issue was discussed last September and also at the December work session. First of all, although I'm sorry I won't be able to tell you exact numbers, there will be relatively small fees, but I know that even small amounts in today's economy can hurt folks. But right now, our outside legal counsel has indicated that we have utilities that are operating and they're not paying a fee, whereas other utilities are. And federal law requires us to be fair to all utilities equally. Really that extra money is more or less going in the pocket of the utilities. Yes, they will probably pass on the fee, but then they will be more competitive with other providers because they will, like the other providers, will all be paying the same thing.
Okay. Thank you.
thank you. Good question. Yes. Jacqueline Green?
Hi, my name's Jacqueline Green, and I was just on right-of-way crow. How is it going to impact a community that's already struggling to make ends meet? There's still a lot of families trying to make ends meet due to COVID, and they're worried about the higher prices due to everything that President Biden and Kamala Harris has paid for, or raised on us. So how it's going to impact us even more? They're afraid of that. We were talking about that around the community.
And I think that's kind of the same answer as I gave Tammy, frankly, kind of the same question. One thing that I will add that I'm glad you reminded me is tonight's hearing, of course, is just on the contract. It's a kind of a technical thing on the sole source contract. We will have public hearings when it comes time to actually look at those ordinances and how those fees will look and how they'll be implemented. So there'll be an additional opportunity there in the public hearing to consider it at that time.
Thank you.
I'd also like to give Mr. Wood an opportunity to remind people that we do have programs here already for families who are struggling with their billing, their utility billing. So although that's not germane to this topic right now, you've brought it up, and let's get that information out to the community.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. We do have several programs available. Oftentimes with the city services bill, the sewer portion is the largest piece of the pie. We do have some low-income type of discounts available for that. If you do feel like you're in that situation, please reach out to the finance department and we can help you out. In addition, we also have some age-related discounts and some also low-income related discounts for both the police and the parks fees as well. So again, I would just encourage everyone who feels like they're in a tight bind to reach out to us. We also do partner with some third parties. We do quite a bit of passing folks along to some of the organizations that are out there helping folks. So again, just reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council on this issue this evening? Council, is there anything else you need before I close the public hearing? Public hearing is now closed. Council President Smith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that the Kaiser City Council adopt Resolution R 2022 authorizing sole source procurement contracts with ROW Consultants LLC for the purpose of assisting with drafting of a right-of-way ordinance and managing the usage of the right-of-way.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Kaiser City Council adopt Resolution R 2022 authorizing sole source procurement contracts with ROW Consultants LLC for the purpose of assisting with drafting of a right-of-way ordinance and managing the usage of the right-of-way. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed signify by saying no. Hearing no objection, motion passes unanimously with one absent, and that's Councilor Reed. That concludes public hearings for this evening. We will now go to administrative action. Item 8A is an ordinance amending Kaiser Development Code regarding middle housing and related matters, amending Kaiser Comprehensive Plan, amending Ordinance 98-389, and Ordinance 87.077, declaring an emergency, and making the packet very big. I believe this goes to Mr. Witham? No, or Mr. Johnson?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. This matter came before Council at the May 2nd meeting, and Council directed staff to prepare an ordinance for this, as you might remember, this is the Middle Housing Code for House Bill 2001 and Senate Bill 458. Talked about cottage clusters and townhomes and all sorts of different kind of middle housing things. I made some minor format and other corrections, mainly to clarify that a referee in an appeal of either an expedited land division or a middle housing land division would actually hold a hearing. That the language wasn't actually there, although it was implied. Other than that, it's pretty much like you folks saw on May 2nd. So with that, the recommendation is to adopt this ordinance, which we're required to adopt before the end of this month.
No rush.
No rush at all.
No. We got plenty of time. Any questions on the staff report or elements of this this tremendous work on the part of Shane and staff and on the Planning Commission? Huge, huge lift. And I've heard from a number of cities that are struggling with the work that these bills unleashed upon many, many cities. So I want to really shout out the commission and the staff for getting this done. It is no small feat. All right, anything further? Council President Smith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Where's my cheat sheet? I'm starting to get used to
that's
these.
my fault, sorry.
Good thing I know how to do it the old school way.
I fill out of the format.
You can't get me all used to the easy way and then put me back the old way.
I know, we adapt fast, don't we?
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I move that the Kaiser City Council adopt a bill for an ordinance amending the Kaiser Development Code regarding middle housing and related matters, amending Kaiser Comprehensive Plan, amending Ordinance 98-389 and Ordinance 87-077, declaring an emergency.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Kaiser City Council adopt a bill for an ordinance amending Kaiser Development Code regarding middle housing and related matters, amending Kaiser Comprehensive Plan, amending Ordinance 98-389 and Ordinance 87-077, declaring an emergency. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed signify by saying no. Hearing no objection, motion passes unanimously with one absent, and that is Councilor Reed.
Madam Mayor, if I may, on this, I wanted to thank Shane and the Planning Commission also. It was a tremendous amount of work by staff. The other thing I wanted to mention is you might remember our usual format for amendments lists every section because of our code section. In this particular instance, and especially for Council President Smith, we made an exception because the original draft, the title took up one full page.
I saw that.
Bless your heart and soul. Bless your soul. Your heart's not a good saying, but
So
bless your soul. Thank you.
We made exception to that rule.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, I saw that list of all of the changes, and I was just like, what? So if anybody would like to really dive into all of the sections that this work, and again, I can't emphasize enough what a heavy lift this work has been. If you go to section 2, and it lists all of the sections that were amended in our development code because of House Bill 2001. M3, are both of these or just one?
This is 2001 and Senate Bill 458.
And Senate Bill 458, so.
Thank you.
Epic.
For real. I've been talking for 10 minutes.
Very likely. And then I've been in the other 10 minutes for making sure I got them stated correctly. Let's go on to ARPA funds. Item 8B is a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign Marion County ARPA funds subrecipient agreement BO 4567-22. Who's got this? City manager?
I'll start off with it. The last time we met, we went over the ARPA funding for the artificial turf fields and the proposal, and council asked us to bring back the agreement from Marion County, the intergovernmental agreement, and our city attorney, Mr. Johnson, has reviewed it and is recommending approval of it. So the resolution would approve the IGA, the intergovernmental agreement between the city of Keizer and Marion County, and allow us to get started on the artificial turf fields.
Fantastic. Any questions on the staff report or the proposal? We've spent a great deal of time on it, but we don't want to rush things. All right, Council President Smith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move
Let's
the Kaiser City Council adopt resolution R 2022, authorizing the city manager to sign Marion County ARPA funds subrecipient agreement BO 456722.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Kaiser City Council adopt resolution R 2022, authorizing the city manager to sign Marion County ARPA funds subrecipient agreement BO 4567-22. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed signify by saying no. Hearing no objection, motion passes unanimously with one absent, and that is Councilor Reed. And last but not least, under administrative action tonight is resolution amending the Kaiser Personnel Policy Manual regarding motor duty pay under the compensation section, amending resolution R 2010-2040. This goes to City Manager.
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council, this is an issue we've worked through over the last 2 months with the Human Resources Director and Chief Teague. The current collective bargaining agreement, the union agreement, has special assignment premiums, and those are for a canine handler, motorcycle officer, interagency bomb squad, and SWAT team. And that offers additional incentive to officers. Sometimes those officers are promoted to the sergeant position, and a previous, or a person that is currently a sergeant now was promoted from an officer position and is needed by the joint Salem and Kaiser SWAT team to be able to have continuity in their leadership. Not indefinitely, but until the leadership from both organizations is sufficient to replace him. So former city manager Chris Epley had approved the exception, and that was typically for 3 to 6 months. It was presented back to me, and we looked for a more permanent resolution for it. The idea, the chief believed that the special assignments did not impact the sergeant's abilities to perform their supervisory obligations. And so that it really wasn't a problem for them to continue those assignments as they were promoted. So the proposal before you is to amend the personnel policy to allow that premium pay for the special assignments that were mentioned.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for the work on this. Any questions on the proposal? Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Could we just get an example of what that extra time, extra assignment might be, other than, you mentioned motorcycle and canine. What can you give an example of what that would mean?
Would you like to take that, Chief?
Well, there's a number of assignments for which union members get paid a premium. We're only looking at these four: bomb squad, SWAT, motors, and canine. And the reason why is because those particular assignments, you can't just unplug somebody and plug somebody in. There's a tremendous amount of education experience that goes into those, and sometimes they need to continue to carry those duties in their new assignment as sergeant until they're replaced. Two, as a canine handler or as a motor officer, part of that premium is to compensate for taking care of the canine or the motor. By the way, motor is a short term for motorcycle, when you're off duty. So that's what that's about. Did that answer your question?
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Council President Smith?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move the Kaiser City Council approve Resolution R 2022, amending the Kaiser Personnel Policy Manual regarding motor duty pay under the compensation section, amending Resolution R 2010-2040.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Kaiser City Council adopt Resolution R 2022, amending the Kaiser Personnel Policy Manual regarding motor duty pay under the compensation section, amending Resolution R 2010-2040. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed signify by saying no. Hearing no objection, motion passes unanimously with one absent, as Councilor Reed. That concludes administrative action for this evening. And this takes us to the consent calendar. Council President Smith, would you please read the items on tonight's consent calendar?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There are 4 items. Item A, resolution declaring the city's intent to initiate a street lighting local improvement district right in Forest, and directing the city engineer to make a survey and file a written report with the city recorder. Item B, resolution certification of delinquent sewer accounts. Item C is approval of the June 6, 2022 regular session minutes. And item D is approval of the June 7, 2022 work session minutes.
Thank you very much. Are there any polls?
Madam Mayor, I'd like
Councilor
to
Starr.
pull items C and D.
C and D? Okay, anything else? Council President Smith?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move the Kaiser City Council approve consent calendar items A and B.
Second.
Consent calendars, item A and B have been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying no. Hearing no objection, motion passes unanimously with one absent. Councilor Reed. Councilor Starr. On C and D?
I'd like to abstain. I was not here.
Okay. Council President Smith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move the Kaiser City Council approve items on the consent calendar C and D.
Second.
Consent calendar, items C and D have been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying no. Abstentions?
Abstain.
Motion passes with 5 aye, 1 absent, Councilor Reed, and 1 abstention, Councilor Starr. That concludes the consent calendar for this evening, and take us to other business. City Council members, do any of you have other business to bring up? This would be time provided to allow the mayor, city council members, or staff an opportunity to bring new or old matters before the council that are not on tonight's agenda. Staff members, any other business before we go to staff updates? Okay, staff updates. City manager?
I don't have any. Looking over at Chief, I think he's the only one I didn't hear about. But so, yep, we don't have any.
All right. Mr. Wood?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Ms. Davis? Question on the recruitment for the community center manager?
We've gone through one interview and we're planning a second interview round, so
Okay.
narrowing it down.
I just want people to know that Ms. Davis has worked extremely hard to make sure that our community center is up and running in this interim, and very much appreciated. Chief Teague.
I may have said last meeting, I may not have though, so I'll say again that we're just one step away from bringing our final personnel. It'll take us up to 42 police officers for the first time in a long time. We won't hire him until September because of the delay at the academy, but we're that close.
Fantastic. Thank you. Mr. Lawyer.
Nothing tonight. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You know, people are wondering, big toy, how's it coming? Inquiring minds want to know.
Waiting for the columns to be delivered. I saw an email last week. They hope that they show up, I think it was the 7th of July.
Okay.
So, done, no promise because they can't get a promise out of the steel shop. But as soon as they're here, we'll open it back up.
Okay. Just asking for inquiring minds. Council President Smith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I saw it on social media today because it finally warmed up. Splash pad. I'm sorry if I haven't read any updates or anything, but what's the timeline on opening that?
I have been out the last 2 days. I don't know. They were working on getting it operating. There was one problem with one of the controllers that controls the chemicals. I don't know if that got resolved or not. I'll find out in the morning. And if it's functional, we'll be able to open it. Let's see. When it will be Wednesday, we can open it. It'll be over 75 degrees.
Perfect.
And we'll put it out as soon as it's open. Know for sure it's open. We'll put it out on the social media website and all that.
Awesome, because that's where I saw it at today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Again, inquiring minds want to know. Parents want their kids outside running around playing in fresh air and sunshine. Mr. Witham.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Council reports. I'll start with Councilor Duran.
It was pretty slow last week. Everybody's canceled things. So the new Northwest Kaiser Neighborhood Association did meet, and they have a lot of questions and a lot of things that they're working on, which is nice to see things moving in in that new, well, not really new neighborhood. Some of it's new, some of it's old, but they're working on getting things together and getting the neighborhood kind of ready to do some stuff. So it's nice to see. That's about all I did last week.
Aside from your day job, which is all-consuming, building season. Councilor Starr.
I have nothing. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
All right, thank you. Council President Smith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't have a lot. I just want to remind people that although it has jumped up on the temperature, it has been very cold for a very long time, and we have a lot of snow melt, and the water is very cold. Do not assume that the river is a great place to go swimming this weekend. I think that the chief and everyone would agree with me on that one. Even if Detroit, any of the waterways, that is really ice cold water and you can take the breath away and make you drown. So please be very conscientious of that and wear your life jackets, please, especially your children. That's all I have.
You're here. Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a couple of things. One, we have some openings on the Public Art Commission, and we have several youth committee liaison openings with the Volunteer Coordinating Committee. Please, if you have some interest, please inquire. Debbie, it's on the website. Yeah, okay, it's on the website. Check it out. And then from the Chamber of Commerce, June 25th, there's a concert at the park they'd like to invite everybody to come to. It's free. And July 19th is a Chamber Board installation at 11:30 at the Log House. July 19th, Chamber Board. The Volunteer Coordinating Committee, we met and we, of course, went over all the things that we voted on earlier today. And training is progressing. I have a couple other chairs that I'm working with. Of course, we had the Diversity Committee work session Monday night, and the Government Affairs Committee for the Chamber had Kevin Mannix come. RJ was sick and not able to attend, but he was invited. And then next month, the Government Affairs Committee has two candidates for the Senate that will be visiting. And tomorrow is the Kaiser Community Dinner. Come on down.
What time?
4:30.
What's her name? Tacos.
Sorry, buddy.
That's gonna be Saturday night.
It's kind of a goulash is what I was told. So whatever that means, come on down.
All righty.
Next month, we as a council get a serve, and that'll be hamburgers, hot dogs.
All right. What's the date on that one for?
Yeah, but
The next month,
Yeah,
I just happen to have that here.
fantastic. And then Tracy can put it in our next week, so we can.
July
get on-
27th.
July 27th, okay. Community dinner. And I understand that Sancho's tacos will be at the Chamber concert this Saturday night, so they're really good,
Right, among some other things.
among some other things. There you go.
So
But
Roland,
you-
you can go to that one.
Wait a minute, you're not gonna be here, are you?
No.
Aren't you heading out to the Naleo? So Councilor Herrera. Your
Yeah, thank you,
turn.
Madam Mayor. First of all, thank you guys for putting up with that little show there. That was not, you know. Anyway, it was a busy week last week. We're working with the Color Caucus, and one of the things we're gonna come up with, we will have some guests from other councilors of color that will be attending our, and we'll be visiting different ones, different council meetings if they don't conflict with our own. That was kind of a strategy, one of the things we're just gonna start doing, as well as fine tuning our fee structure and maybe changing our bylaws. But anyway, also, last week I was in Medford for a couple of days. We had the board meeting, League of Oregon City Board meeting, and I'm happy to report that they're actually improving their scholarship program and mentorship, two things that I was actually pushing for, hoping. And that way, in terms of equity, the smaller cities and people can't afford to go to these conferences, because we encourage participation. Anyway, and then of course all day today, we were at the I was at the strategic committee that we're doing planning for statewide League of Oregon Cities events, which you participated before. And it's very enlightening. I mean, those guys were very creative, and we have a really good group working with us, the Gregorio group. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're pretty good. Let's see, I celebrated Juneteenth. We had an event, Juneteenth. And also Father's Day. I got to see most of my family. I got to see more family here than Father's Day. So,
Isn't that the way it goes?
Yeah. Anyway, so also Naleo National Conference leave tomorrow, and I got to tell you that I got a call once I registered. I got a call from Commissioner Archuleta from New Mexico, and he's the one that him and I started a similar program with LAC, and he did the same thing in New Mexico. So I'm excited to compare notes, sort of, because I think we're better than they are. So.
Well, look at.
Now, we have kind of a little competition, but it's so enlightening, and I really appreciate the fact that I get to attend this thing. It's so huge for me. Also, last thing I want to let you guys know is this. A few years ago, we had a young man, Anthony Garcia, one of my prize students from C-Tech. He was a barber, and then went natural, and one of the things we push for is to come back to your community and help. Well, he has his own business, AG the Barber, Anthony Garcia, right here on Cherry Avenue. And to watch a young man from 4th grade up, and now he's got a business in town, it makes my heart really big. So
Fantastic.
Anyway, that's all I got. Thank you very much.
Well, I saw the sign go up, but I hadn't made the connection. That's fabulous.
AG the Barber.
All right. Just a couple things to add. We talked about the scholarships. I'm on the board of directors for the, do you want to do that? I'm on the board of directors for the League of Oregon Cities Foundation, and we've been doing strategic planning on how the funds can be raised to be able to do even more for training scholarships, et cetera, for city council members across the state. So very much a partnership. And a couple other things going on. Congratulations to our McNary High School, private high school, and homeschool graduates. Fantastic work, and we're very, very proud of you. The COG, the Midwillamette Valley Council of Governments, has been very busy. We had our budget meeting, and today we had our budget hearing to adopt the budget for the Council of Governments, met with the Executive Committee, and then today with the entire board, where we were also able to say thank you to Renata Wakely, who is leaving the Council of Governments, and she's going to work for the City of Woodburn to do more community development work. She is incredibly talented in this area, and we're glad she's keeping her talent in the region in some new and exciting ways. McCraig Carmichael, who is our Safe Routes to School coordinator, successfully competed for that position, and she will be taking that role as the community development director at the Council of Governments. So very excited to find that talent right there in the staff that was already on hand and already knows the Council of Governments and our cities in our 3-county region. Let's see, I'd covered the Parks Board for Councilor Starr. Just a few things that they covered that evening. We talked about the turf fields. I brought them up to speed on that. And on a meeting that I had with Mr. Lawyer regarding lights and the location of amenities at the Kaiser Amphitheater to make sure that, kind of reimagine that space and make sure that is accessible and well lit for people's safety. So look forward to that design coming back. The Parks Board approved one more band for the concert series for the Bridge City Blues Band. So if you're a fan of blues, watch for that one. And let everybody, there's a great report from Jenny Amon from the Environmental Division. And today was the first of this summer's series of Trashy Tuesday. So if you want to get out there and get involved with Trashy Tuesday, check out our website, check out our Facebook page for the events in July and August. It's a lot of fun and it helps our local environment with our wetland areas and our creeks. So fantastic work there. That's the Parks report. Also would like to highlight this month's Coffee with Kathy video featured a very special guest, and that was Eric Jesperson, the principal of McNary High School. I encourage you to go to my Facebook page or to kaisertv.com, and it's a wonderful conversation with the principal and the work that he has done to build an incredible team to wipe out the achievement gap between the white and Latino students, what he's done to raise to an extraordinary level the achievement for students with disabilities, and just to build an incredible culture of excellence and achievement at McNary High School. I don't know if you saw the front page of the Kaiser Times. Our students racked up $13 million in scholarships. Way to go. That only happens when you've got tremendous support and being able to navigate that system. Fantastic, fantastic work at McNary High School, the world-class McNary High School. Coming up, just a couple of things. The summer reading program will kick off this Saturday with Reptile Man. Yes, we will count all the reptiles before he leaves, I promise. Councilor Starr?
Take them out.
We'll go make sure what goes in comes out.
Nope.
I'm a biologist, so yes, I will be there. I find that stuff pretty cool. The League of Oregon Cities Women's Caucus met today, continuing some fabulous work to build relationships, mentoring, and opportunities for women in leadership in city councils across the state. And on Monday, I'll be part of a mayor's panel where women who are interested in learning more about and networking regarding serving as a mayor will be able to tune in at noon on Monday. On the 29th, I'll be at the Salem Hospital. They're going to do the ribbon cutting for the new patient tower, which I've gotten to do a sneak preview tour, and it's amazing. Great addition to our healthcare system in this area. And from there, I'll be going straight out to Silverton, where they're going to do a groundbreaking. Legacy Health is also expanding. So we're getting more fantastic services for healthcare in our community. And last but not least, the Midwillamette Valley Homeless Alliance Board will be meeting on the 23rd, that's this Thursday, to continue the work, and we'll be talking about the allocation of recommendations for programs to receive the $3.4 million we received from Housing and Urban Development for programming for youth and young adults. Those dollars, we know how to use those in this community, and we can prevent and end homelessness for our youth and young adults. That's all I got. Have a happy Independence Day. I'll be on the 4th, and we'll be talking about agenda input in a minute. But there's one more, oh, by the way, from Councilor Herrera.
You know, we have this great event that I forgot all about, and here I have the pamphlet. You know,
Been there, done that.
to piggyback on the McNary world-class situation, McNary brought on some nice awards. The Beacons we put on this event every year, and pretty much we're raising money, celebrating coaches, educators, community members, and athletes. And we raise money for the folks that can't, we want everybody to be able to play. We pay for the whether it's their physical or any equipment they need, playing fees or whatever, because they're pretty high now, especially if you play two sports. Anyway, this year I was really honored to McNary. Vic Backlund received the Beacon Award. It was presented by Gib Gilmore, former recipient, which I presented to him, believe it or not. And then Tyler Copeland won Football Athlete of the Year. And so that was a great win for us. Also, McNary, Lacey Vasas from McNary was the Softball Athlete of the Year. And this was the whole league. And then Colby Sullivan from McNary was awarded the Boys Golf Athlete of the Year. One of my favorite situations was the award for McKay family, they were my mentors and have worked with me forever. And actually, I'm so happy that the Tavera family was honored as a community member for McKay because they've done so much, and that's how I got involved in the league many, many years ago because of the Tavera family. Anyway, so this is a really good program, and if you want to know anything about it, Beacons, just look it up, and basically it's really helping a lot of kids. So thank you for letting me indulge. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Any other by-the-ways? Ouch. Let's put the glasses on, not stab my eye. All right, agenda input. We will meet next on July 5th, which is a Tuesday at 7 p.m. in regular session. The council work session for July 11th is canceled, and that will hopefully be the next meeting of the Community Diversity Engagement Committee. They've got quorum, and hopefully that everybody will be able to attend that. July 18th, we'll meet at 7 p.m. in regular session. August 1st, also 7 p.m. in regular session, and I believe August 2nd is National Night Out. And Chief Teague, do we need to let you know now that who wants to be a part of that, or is that coming?
It'll be on our Facebook page.
Okay, so if people want to sign up for that, to go on the Facebook page. Yep. So council, go ahead and share that out when that comes up. And then for those of us who want to ride along, let you know?
Councilors, you let me know or let Lieutenant Copeland know. By the way, for public that doesn't have Facebook, I don't, by the way, just call our front desk and we'll get you connected.
Okay. Yes, there are people who don't do Facebook. I know there's, yeah, and they're probably much happier for it. All right, thank you very much. Anything else for the good of the order? The time is 8:04, we are adjourned.